at this description for the heaven. In the hell, there's no food, but in heaven, you will eat as much you want. And then Allah will make your face soft. You see, the translation here is false. It says joyful. It's not, it's a lie. It says na'ima. Na'ima. This is literally the translation. And they will be, pleased there. The garden is so high. I like high garden. I mean, I don't like a low garden. There, nobody will do gossiping. And there is a spring of water running. But you remember the yesterday we spoke about two fountains. Now it's one spring. And you will sit in a high throne. By the way, this is a translation is false. It says fi sururin marfu'a, which mean high couches, high beds. This is heaven. I will have a high bed. And then cups. Allah will put cups for you there. I mean, have you ever heard of a heaven like this? وَأَكْوَابٍ مَوْضُوعًا, and cups, like the translation. Let's change the translator. This translation is weird. It look like this guy is using software or something. Let us see. Here we go. See? And cups set at hands. In heaven, my friend, you have cups there. I mean, you enter your kitchen, brother, you have cups. Have you ever heard of God? He's promised me to have cups in heaven. That's God's talking. And brother, we will give you even cushions. And they are in rows. There is many of them, cushions. A lot of cushions. Have you ever heard of a God that promised me a heaven have cushions? I mean, the one is talking there is God. This is Muhammad fooling those poor Arab who sleep in the floor. Hey Abdul, I will give you a cushion. Are you serious, prophet? Yes, brother. I will even give you cups because those Arab don't have cups. The cups only is in the hand of the Persian and the Roman. Those Arab are desert people. So he promised them cups is even from a glass. And carpet. You will have carpet. A brother, you will have a carpet. And look at the city Muhammad. Suddenly he jumped from I will give you cups and cushions and a throne and beds and the flowing water, and then suddenly he says, don't you see how the camel is created? What does have to do with the topic before it? Guys, imagine I'm talking to you now about the topic, and suddenly I says to you, and don't you see how the camel is created? You will say to me, Christian Prince, what this? Why you jump? You were talking about the cushions, the carpet, the furniture in the house of Allah, and suddenly you jump to speak about how the camel is created. What does have to do with this? I mean, this guy, he have a diarrhea. He don't know what he's talking about. And then you say, don't you see how the mountains was nailed in the ground and fixed firm? Really, it's fixed firm. And then he says how the earth he made it flat. You see in the translation it says how it's spread out. It says in Arabic how he made it flat, suttihat, like a roof, flat roof. And yet they say to you, Islam makes sense and Islam is a religion. Islam is a crazy, is a cult. What is this? Look at this one. Hold on, let me show you this one. We mentioned that Allah will give you cups, right? Okay, read this one with me. You believe it that this is God talking? First of all, around you, brother, there will be boys. You will be reclining in your bed. Imagine that. Recline in your bed. And you will be facing each other. I mean, look at this description. So brother Abdul Shabir Ali will be facing brother Shamsi. His bed is here, his bed is there, and they are facing each other. And then around them there will be little boys who they are naked, and they are so beautiful like pearls, as in different verse describe them. And then they will serve them, those boys, or around them there will be cups and jugs and glasses from a flowing wine. And you ask yourself why somebody want to commit suicide. Hey, look at his life here, it's a disaster. He have to work, go in the work, work as a taxi driver or a truck driver, and spend the whole day driving or doing concrete work to make pennies. He kill himself. He go there, he will find all those boys naked around him and women opening their legs, there's no panty, and each time he have sex with her, Allah, he will make her vagina brand new for him again, and cups and jugs and glasses, and he's wow, that's amazing, brother. And even the fruits, brother, of what you like. And by the way, just to let you know, in the heaven of Allah there is a great diet. There's no beef, there's no pork, there's no lamb. The only meat is allowed is the flesh of birds. This is the open buffet of Allah. Only chicken, no shrimp. That's it. But hold on, actually somebody here, David Kenwood, he said something important. Guys, the Quran says Allah will give you flesh of birds, right? But do you remember when Muhammad, he says the first meal people will go and eat in the heaven, what is this? Who remember? Who remember? David, he just posted. Who remember? The liver of the whale, right? So Muhammad is a liar. The Quran promise you only bird meats. Muhammad, he mentioned that in the heaven the first meal you will eat is the liver of the whale. Why the liver of the whale? Who knows? Why the liver of the whale? Six. The Arab, they believe that if you eat from the liver of the whale you will become a porn star. Remember, now you are going to go to the heaven of Allah, so you need to be ready. So you eat the liver of the whale, your private part will become like takbir. Viagra, thank you very much. And look, actually this story here is the most hilarious story. A guy, he came to him and he said to him, I came, brother, to ask you a question about the three things nobody knows unless he is a prophet. Hold on, guys. He's asking him a question about three things nobody knows unless he's a prophet, but the guy, he know the answer. Because later he agree with him. No problem, nobody knows the answer for it unless he is a prophet, but the guy himself, he know the answer. Let it go. Firstly, what is the first portent of the hour? Secondly, what is the first meal of the people of paradise? Thirdly, what make the baby look like the father? And each answer is hilarious. And then Muhammad, he says the first meal, etc. And then look what make the baby look like the father. And if the man, now he explained why how the baby look like. If the man discharge proceed the women, then the child resembled the father. And if the women discharge proceed the man, the child resembled the mother. And this is, nobody knows the answer for it except the prophet, brother. This is why if I ever get married, I will never have this charge first. I don't want my son to look like me. What a disaster. Even I go to Walmart, everybody leave. Alhamdulillah. I enter a store, everybody's out. I go in the elevator, nobody there. Even the airplane, I am in, even the captain, he leave. Like the airplane is by itself. He hit the parachute and he flee. True story, by the way. This is true story. So now you know how you can have a good looking baby. If your wife, she is good looking and you are not good looking like me, then don't have orgasm first, Abdul first. Hello? The prophet, he knows best. You found a sheikh, let him post in Skype, in the Facebook, that he accepted to challenge me, and you know, just give us his Facebook, and he can post there his Facebook account, and we will contact him. Hmm? And Abdul Heaven, this is what proves that your prophet is a prophet, because he believe that the first meal of people who enter heaven is a whale liver. Allah will hunt whales. Allah is doing fishing right now. How many whales Allah he need? How many whales Allah he need? We have 1.5 billion Muslims supposedly. How many whales Allah he need to feed them? And those are the one is alive. So if we count those who die, you know, since the time of Islam until now, maybe by now we will have 10 billion. We need a lot of whales. Any Abdul? Yeah, but yeah, maybe Allah would take that whale, the one who carried the earth. Yeah, good one, Andrew. Andrew, he says maybe the whale which is carried the earth. You remember the story, guys? Who remember where we can find the story of the whale which carried the earth? Who remember? Before I put it in the screen, who remember? Which verse is speaking about the whale carrying the earth? Noon. Yeah, but what verse? What chapter? Actually, that chapter is, it should be, actually the chapter name should be chapter Noon, but the Muslim, they change the name, they make it Al-Qalam with a pen. Noon. Noon. It is one of the miracles of, look at the translation, guys. Look at translation. Look at how funny. Noon is one of the miracles of Allah. Why? It's a letter, brother. It's a one letter. This is a miracle of Allah. So if I say noon now, I made a miracle. Noon is an Arabic letter. You see here, noon is not really noon. It's just N, letter N. Let me type it for you in English. It just, this is what it is. What miracle of Allah, you donkey. But because they cannot explain it, it's a miracle, brother. That's it. This is what it says noon. In Arabic, when a letter alone, we give it like a name. So we call it noon. But it's a letter N. That's it. This is a miracle of Allah. Why? Is Allah the one who made this letter? But if we go and to try to find out what this noon mean, you will be really amused. Shall we go and see what noon mean? Just for the sake of education. Chapter 68, verse number 1. Now, if you are a person who suffer from dizziness or some illness, disease, you get dizzy, please don't read this with us, because you will get dizzy guarantee. Noon. What noon mean? Brother, Ibn Abbas is talking, the cousin of the Prophet himself. And from the narration and the authority of Ibn Abbas, he said, regarding the interpretation of Allah saying noon, noon, he says, Allah swear by noon, which is the whale that carried the earth on its back, and the whale in the water, while in the water, and beneath it there's a bowl, and under the bowl there is a rock, and under the rock there is a dust, and none knows what is under the dust save Allah. Here the knowledge of the scholar stop. Don't ask me more questions. I do not know. I could not go deep in the ocean more than this. That's it. My knowledge arrived to the dust. Under the dust, I do not know. Please don't ask me. So there is a whale is carrying the earth. And who is carrying the whale? There's a bowl. The name of the whale is Lewish. And by the way, this is not Lewish Farrakhan. This is different Lewish. And it said its name is Lutaya. And the name of the bowl is Bahamut. And some they say that the name is Talahut or Liwana. The whale in the sea is called Adwad, and like a small ball in a huge sea. The sea is in a Hollywood rock whereby there is a 4,000 cracks. Even the Muslims were able to count the cracks in the ocean before all the scientists. Look at this. They knew how many cracks down deep the ocean. How they knew that if Allah is not God, brother? 4,000 cracks. Abdul, the 4,000 cracks is in the head of the one who made this chapter, not in the ocean. And from each crack, water spring come out to earth. It's also said that noon is one of the name of Allah. Hold on. So we start saying that the noon is a whale, and we end that noon is Allah himself. What? 2 lines before it was a whale. Now they change it. And it's also said that it is one of the names of Allah. It stands for the letter Noon in Ar-Rahman. And it's also said, are we done? No. Also say that Noon is an inkwell. Like, what the heck? So it was a whale, and then it became Allah, and now became an inkwell. Allah have an inkwell, in case you do not know. Allah swear by the pen. This pen is made of light, and its light equal to the distance between the heaven and the earth. For sure, Allah will not hold a small pen. Are you stupid or what? His pen will be very big. Very, very big.